Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Rival Recap Show, guys. We are 4 weeks down, incredible 4 weeks, 10 weeks to go, guys. A lot of season left, all right? Just because your team's doing well doesn't mean too much right now, and just because your team's doing bad might not mean too much right now. 10 weeks is a long time, guys, and people got to start raking in wins. They want to make that playoff push, guys, and what are we here to do? We're here to talk Gentlemen's Club football all day. All the time, guys. And yes, I do get more chipper with those when I win. And we're here to go dive right into my matchup, guys. And what a matchup it was. 160 points for the Clowns. Back-to-back real nice weeks for the fellas. Cordarrelle Patterson's a king, absolute king, guys. David Montgomery getting hurt. It looks like it's going to be 4 weeks right now. That sucks. That's a blow. He had a really nice game. I was feeling really good. But you know what? Can't be riding too high. I had a few bench players play well. McKissick, Gainwell. Some people need running backs. Some trades have been talked. I'm not looking to go for anything like insane, but I would like another receiver if anybody's interested in either of those guys. I've talked to a few members already. Not sure what's going to come to fruition, but yeah. I'm looking, guys. Other side, Rass, 109 points, not too great. Your running backs were all kind of average. 8 points from Melvin, 4 points from Carson, 10 from Mike Davis. Mike Davis is just going to put up 10 to 13 every single week, and it just doesn't fucking matter. But, I mean, Cordarrelle and DJ Moore carried me this week. I had a few other nice games from guys, and it just adds up to 160 points, guys. I'm feeling good about the team. I'm not too high yet, but, I mean, 160, 140 last week. Feel pretty good. I got Charlie, who's been in terrible form the last 2 weeks, so should be an interesting matchup for sure. Maybe his team bounces back, maybe it doesn't. Sorry, a work message that I can ignore for at least 10 minutes. And we are going into the next matchup. Nice matchup. Rast, Charlie, I'll see you next week. Cooper Shells versus ACLU. Matt Lynch, man in first place right now. 4-0, one of the two 4-0 guys playing what is looking like the worst team in the league right now. The team that's going to be making all these trades. Ian Jones, worst luck in the world, man. DJ Chark, 1 or 2 plays into the game, whatever it was, done for the season. That's like Ian's third guy that's happened to that has put up like less than a point and just been done for the season. Logan Thomas, not done for the season, but injured, 0 points. Robbie Gould, injured in pregame. 0 points. Ian probably could have avoided that one by actually fucking checking around 4 o'clock, but wouldn't have mattered. Would not have mattered. No kickers were putting up 51 points to cut that gap. Ian's looking to make trades. I talked to him already. I think like 8 or 9 people have reached out about Alvin Kamara already. I haven't really. I don't know if I could really make a good offer for him there. But I've talked to him about some of his other players maybe, but. Other side, Lynch, I mean, 111 really isn't great. Deebo Samuel carried you. I believe you win the long 20 with Deebo Samuel. Eric, please correct me if I'm wrong. And the other side, Ian will be paying you because 60 points, he's definitely the low scorer. But I believe Deebo's like 76-yard touch. He hit another freaking ridiculously long touchdown. I think that's the one that is going to win the long 20. But, I mean, yeah, Lynch, you had some decent things going on your bench. You started Madison this week while Dalvin Cook was playing, after not playing him last week when Dalvin Cook was hurt. Probably not your best move, but it didn't matter. You've had the luxury of playing 2 of the worst people the last 2 weeks. 2 of the worst people those weeks. I think, fucking hell, I can't even speak. The lowest score the last 2 weeks. And we're just going to go into the next matchup because Ian is down bad. I got a few stack requests about Ian, so we'll get into those at the end. Next matchup, Christian versus Lamb. Christian, really nice week, 146 points. Tyreek Hill, that's why you made the trade. That's why you wanted your Poppy, 47.6 points. My goodness. Kenny Golladay had a pretty nice game too, 17.6. If David Montgomery didn't get hurt, I would say this was a really mutually beneficial trade, but him getting hurt definitely makes it look a little worse on my end. I thought I was in desperate need of a running back, and then all of a sudden Cordarrelle Patterson comes on, and I maybe didn't even need to make this trade, but I still feel like my team is looking good. Your team's looking good. Hope it continues to work out for you. And you got some pieces on the bench now. Dawson Knox with a great game. I wanted to touch on this. This was like the week of some of the worst tight end performances I think we've ever seen. I think like 8 or 9 of the tight ends had less than 10 points that were started. So Christian with Dawson Knox might be able to float that in a few guys' faces. Maybe as a kicker, maybe he trades Kittle and runs with Knox. I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. But nice one for Christian. Lamb, other side, 117 ain't bad. You finally went for Derek Carr this week, and of course he has like his worst week. Mixon got a little banged up, but I'm pretty sure he's fine. Gronk could be hurt for another week or two. Not too sure what's good with his ribs there. Tried to slide in Cameron Brate, didn't quite work out. Maybe you'll run another tight end next week, or Brate will do better. Who knows? But Lamb sitting at 1-3, Christian 2-2. A lot of 2-2 guys, so that's fun. It's going to be messy in the middle. Next matchup, guys, Charlie versus Tony. And Charlie, 96 points after a 68-point week. Not too good. Myles Gaskin, 0.3 yards. He was playing. They just were throwing the ball out. Malcolm Brown was getting more rushes. Diggs, 18 points. Pretty good, but just not up to Diggs' standard quite yet this season. He hasn't, he had 114 yards, but he was throwing up 25, 30-point games, a lot last year. So he hasn't quite gotten into that form yet. Jared Cook, nice game. Hunter Renfrow, pretty nice game. But 96 points, Charlie definitely ain't going to do it. Tony, other side. Tony's the leading scorer through 4 weeks, and I'm sure he is loving that. Stafford, decent. Henry, great game. Kareem Hunt, pretty good. It was Hunt versus Chubb, and Hunt got the more points, the better fantasy running back this week. I think maybe on the season so far. I don't know. Someone check me. Corey Davis, 21. Nice revenge game against the Titans. I believe Tony posted that. Noah Fant, solid. Hubbard not doing too much, but Tony, 129 points. You continue. I think all 4 weeks, Tony's been between 127 and 134. So that's pretty incredible stuff from that guy. Next matchup, guys. This was a really close one. Came down to last night. There was some bickering going on in the group between Johnny and Joe. A little bit of banter back and forth. Joe comes out with the win, 4-0. Got to be feeling real nice about his roster. 132 points. Out on 127 though. Nice week. Apart from week 1, your team's had three nice weeks. You just didn't get the wide receiver production. Odell with 5 and Christian Kirk with 1.5. That is unfortunate. That sucks, actually. And, James Conner continues to 2 weeks in a row. He's had a nice fantasy game, so maybe he gets into your starting lineup somewhere. But Dak and Zeke had nice games. But, yeah, tough loss to Dono, but your team's looking pretty good. Joe, Barkley did great. Robinson and Herbert did pretty well. Jefferson had a nice game. Henderson did pretty well. Henderson always has a questionable next to his name. What happened now? Rib listed as limited. He's just one of those guys that's probably just always going to have a fucking questionable designation the whole season. But yeah, Trey Lance on your bench, 20 points. Joe's got to be feeling good. I wonder if he got any best team votes this week. I sure didn't vote for him. Can't be telling him that. But next matchup. CD's Nuts versus Hurts McNeelan's. Pretty ugly looking matchup, but Sklar's happy to get away with the win with only 102 points, 102-95. Sklar not getting any production out of his running backs. See what happens there. CD with an off week, carried by McLaurin. Weston just pretty average other side. Jalen Hurts continues to be a good fantasy quarterback, even if the Eagles are losing games. Edward-Helaire had a touchdown. He's looking better, but the rest was just average. Kelsey, 6 points, man. You're probably not going to see that too often. But Weston, 95 points. He had a few bench guys do all right, but did not amount to a W for Mr. Weston. Both these guys are sitting at 2-2, right in the middle, and we are going on to the last matchup of the week. And it was Ortiz getting his first win, guys. He is not 0-4. He is 1-3. Eckler gets, 29.5 points last night to beat Eric. He needed 25, 24 points. Eric 112, sitting at 1-3. Average week. Heineke, you might have found your quarterback. He had 28 points. That's pretty nice. Najee Harris and Edmonds did well, but Sanders not so great. Gainwell was getting most of the receptions. Sanders only had 13 rushing yards. Jeez, dude. Ridley hasn't been exceptional either, so that trade might end up being a wash by the end of this season. But 117-112. Ortiz got to be very happy with a win here. I don't know what the hell Ortiz. Maybe Singletary can be his RB2. I don't know. We'll see if James makes a trade or if he's ready to just ride with his guys, because on paper he has a good team. Hooper probably ain't it at tight end, but maybe he can figure that out. And both these guys are 1-3 now, 1-3. And that's the matchups, guys. I want to touch on this whole group me iMessage thing. I'm very glad that pretty much everyone voted group me. While I think group me has its flaws, I think it serves its purpose. And for the sole reason of liking a message in group me versus putting a fucking thumbs up or haha in iMessage and flooding your phone with 50 messages when fucking Tony says something funny and we all want to like or haha it, I think we would all go insane with that many messages. Or the other side, the funny messages wouldn't get the recognition they deserve because people don't want to do that. So we're sticking with the group me. We're sticking with the likes. I love the likes. Ian showed me a cool feature that Joe had posted last week when Joe sent those, like, the 3 most liked messages were about Sedano. If you're like in group me and you go to like the options, whatever, and it says like gallery, whatever, there's like a popular button, and I never knew about this. Maybe everyone else did and I'm just fucking an idiot, but I never knew about this popular button. It's really cool. It shows the most liked messages of the day, week, and month. Pretty cool stuff. Next, guys, a few stat requests. Okay, so the first one came from, I believe, Joe, and he asked if this is the worst start in Gentlemen's Club history, points-wise, for Mr. Jones, because it's been pretty bad. I mean, he had a good week 1, I think, but that was pretty much it. Jones has 364 points through 4 weeks. Now, there have been a few guys who started the season 0-4. Jones is 1-3, but we're looking at points here, and 364 points is the worst start to a Gentlemen's Club season. That I didn't do like completely extensive research on this, but I tried to dig through the last few years and find teams that were pretty low, and I found Kevin Lamb, 2018, Gronk's Donkey Dicks, 372 points. So that was the lowest I could find. Jones is now the new holder of that title. Worst start to the season, ACLU, loses players all over the field. So yeah, thank you for that stat request, Joe. Next one comes from Mr. Ortiz, and he's wants to know if a team that started 0-3 ever made the playoffs. Yes, there has been one. Joe Narduli started 0-4 in 2018, and he made the playoffs. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was the year when Joe finished like 7-6 or something like that. So he went on quite a run, and Pavic picked him in that first round matchup, and Pavic lost because Joe had a good team. He just got off to a bad start. So Ortiz, maybe one trade, or maybe you just ride with your guys. And the last stat point out, we'll call it, was from Mr. Rast, and it was incorrect, but he's trying to point out some stuff. He said Jones has the lowest points for and the lowest points against. While Jones does have the lowest points for, Mr. Lynch up in first place is the owner of lowest points against, 366. Rast, maybe you just weren't looking that high. You were looking at some of the worst guys in the league. But 366, Matt Lynch in first place. Compare that to Rast's 555 points against Rast. I mean, you're getting boned out here. But those were the stats. I appreciate the submissions, and keep them coming. I don't mind looking through the stuff in the prior years. I'd love to make a trade. Reach out. Kenneth Gainwell looks pretty good, guys. I would love a receiver. I want to trade Waddle because I think I'm going to be running with Gesicki, and I don't want Waddle and Gesicki, so it's another man I'm looking to trade. Nothing crazy, but if anyone has something, let me know. We'll send it over to Joe for another excellent week of Safe Space. Can't wait to watch it. Hope you all have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Marsh. I'm filming this at halftime of the Monday night game, so I think I'll beat John, but I really fucking hope I don't blow that. Johnny was talking a lot of noise in the group chat this week. I guess that's how all of you feel when you play me, but I really want to beat him. He goes, the league needs to learn a lesson on how to have sustained success. Buddy, what's sustained success to you? Like not leaving a 2-mile radius outside of Monmouth County when your mother fucking makes you cutlets and tucks you in every night? Fucking embarrassing, this kid is. But welcome back to Safe Space, gentlemen. I'm a little fucked up, so this should be episode. Playing it. I've been waiting all fucking year to say it. Is Saquon Barkley back? Yes. 126 yards all purpose, 2 touchdowns. That 50-yard bomb down the sidelines, I literally fell off my couch. Had the game-winning touchdown. Giants win. Best football day for me since probably Daniel Jones' first start. And I would like to say this as well. Yes, Saquon Barkley is back, but through 4 weeks, 3 of the weeks of which he's not been back, through 4 weeks, Saquon Barkley has outscored Alvin Kamara. Outscored Alvin Kamara. So all you haters and losers that said it was the worst pick of the draft, get the fuck out of my face. Let's roll a best team, worst team. Best team for the 3rd time of 4 weeks, Mr. Matthew Spaghetti Noodle Lynch. I was texting Lynch earlier today. I go, Lynch, like, you're going to win best team again. I've broken down your team 3 times already. I got nothing else to say. Can you give me a quote for the boys? So he gave me one. Shout out to all the shells, especially late round steals of Tom Brady and Deebo Samuel. Also, I had thought that Tony's Would You Rather from this weekend was fictional. But fortunately for me, the 6 dead bodies he was referring to was actually just Ian's fantasy team. And I truly did sleep soundly on all of them. Wise words from Matthew Lynch. And that is a good segue to our worst team. This might be an all-time record for worst team votes. Everyone submitted to Safe Space this week, so 14 total submissions. This person got 11 worst team votes. Our commissioner, our defending champion, Ian Jones. Ian, 60 points this week. And week 3, last week, 83 points. Week 2, 94 points, 3 straight weeks, not breaking triple digits. I'll say this, Ian. Marsh had 2 really bad weeks and knew he had to make a trade. Made a trade, traded his best player, Tyreek Hill, worked out for him, turned his whole season around. Marsh is a contender now. Last week, you have 2 straight bad weeks. You're offering Kamara and AJ Brown around to me. I assume other people in the league was having trade offers. You don't make the trade. It costs you. I think you're out of it. Like, your points forced are so low that even if you come back from 1-3, if there's a tiebreaker for that 8 seed, you're not going to win it. So you're going to have to, like, over-win, which, based on your roster, is not going to happen. But, Ian, I'm going to say these wise words. More is lost by indecision than the wrong decision. And I think your indecisiveness played you last week. Former champ, though. Let's get to the segments. All right, shout out Kevin Lamb for the segment idea. And on that note, guys, if you ever have any segments ideas, I'm like very open to them. I'll pretty much always do them, so feel free to text me. But Kevin said or suggested asking the league where they like personally rank their own team. So I ordered this in the order that we all ranked our teams. I'll start, not because I think I'm top 3. I think I'm top 3 right now with Lynch and Tony. I like my team right now. Allen Robinson sucks, which sucks, but everyone else is playing really well. I kind of just hope I stay healthy. For the first time, I have depth, which is nice. Usually I trade it all away, and then the person I trade it for gets hurt, and I make excuses to why I lose. But good start to the season. I don't think I've played any of the good teams yet, though. I think all the teams I've played have been fine, but like I haven't played Tony or Lynch yet. Let's get to the actual submissions. I wasted a minute on myself. Lynch, he says top 3 for sure. Off to a solid start. Score has been consistent enough out of the gate, but could be better. 4-0 Lynch. Tony, he also says top 3. He goes, I might even get to pick who I play in the playoffs this year. Tony, perennial 8 seed. Derrick Henry is a big contributor to that, along with Stafford, Keenan Allen, and some depth on the bench. Tony puts up like Lynch and I have been good, but Lynch and I have had really good weeks and like so-so weeks where he squeaked out wins. Fucking Tony is just like solid 130, 140 every week. That's really fucking hard to beat. My best team vote actually went to Tony this week because of that reason. Marsh is feeling himself after last week, this week, and rightfully so. He had 2 monster weeks. Marsh goes in the 4 to 6 range. I'm pretty sure he got worst team vote like 2 weeks ago, but made a trade. He goes still another trade away from breaking into that top tier. Feel good after having 140 and 160 in back-to-back weeks. Also feels good when the bench reforms, so maybe I can make that trade I need. Who is on your bench, Marshy? What's your team name? Clowns. McKissick is back, running back. Tonyan, Waddle, I guess, maybe. Gainwell, Cardinals. I don't know who the fuck you're trading. Rass ranked himself 5th, despite falling to 1 and 3. A little delusional there. If everyone could stop having their best game against me, that'd be great. Yeah, I think maybe Rass is... I don't know, I'm going to stop with the maybe Rass is like actually good and getting unlucky because like I think Mike Davis sucks. So that is a flaw in your lineup, Rast. DK's been all right. And Chris Carson's a hit or miss. So Rast. 5th, I think, is a little aggressive. Johnny ranks himself in the 5 to 8 range. Needs someone to break out and carry me in and out every week. Johnny, I think that's a fair assessment to your team. Your team's solid. If you do lose to me, you would beat most of the teams this week. You're a little unhealthy, but yeah, I think you have a solid team. 5 to 8 range. I think I'll make the playoffs. Christian says he's in the 6 to 8 range. He goes, wide receivers looking good. Trade for Tyreek Hill went off. Kill hasn't lived up to his draft spot, and obviously CMC out a couple weeks. Once he's back, I think I'm without question a top 4 team. CMC and Tyreek combo will be lethal. Yeah, they will be lethal, but I don't think I can name another player in your team, Christian. So, I mean, but then again, if they combine for fucking 60 every week, you're good. Charlie just said 7 to 10 range with no elaboration. Bud, that's very delusional. You're much closer at 10 than 7, I'll tell you that. Sklar ranked himself 8th, which I thought was like pretty low. I think Sklar's higher than 8th. My team is a point away from being 3-1. Fuck you, Tony. Do I feel great about my performance this week? No. But a win is a win. I think week 6 is when my team is really going to hit its stride. Yeah, we've said Sklar actually is a good team. Eric thinks he has a middle of pack team, but says James Conner is a James Conner annual injury away from being a threat. I totally agree with that. The Cardinals have a fucking nasty offense, and if Edmonds gets all those running back touches, he's going to be like top tier. And James Conner fucked me in the playoffs 2 years ago. He always gets hurt. So, Eric, I agree with you there. Weston thinks he has a 500 ball club. Says it would be nice to come up against a 60-point week one of these days. I had my best week against Weston last week, so maybe he's getting unlucky. Kevin says he's realistically a bubble team, so I guess that's like around 8. Averaging 125 a week, not knocking it out of the park, but I think it's a pretty solid team hit by some injuries. Yeah, Kevin, who fucking could have guessed that Rob Gronkowski would have gotten hurt? Ortiz. Okay, we call out dumb submissions on Safe Space. Ortiz, when I said, like, can you rank your team? He goes, I think my team is a cutie. In one year, out the other with this kid. No wonder why he's 0-4. Actually, James, maybe not 0-4. I clarified with him, he ended up ranking his team 12th. He goes, my team is bad, but better than Jones and Karita. I have the highest points against and put more points than some other teams. My team is underperformed too. You can't argue with the numbers, James. The underperformance, some guys just might not be as good as this year as they were. And lastly, Ian, he does have the self-awareness to rank in 14th, and he goes, I've had 6 players get 0 points, and it's only week 4. That's horrible. No other way to put that one, my guy. Next segment. All right, I've actually wanted to do this segment for a while. It didn't get like a ton of responses, so maybe it sucks, but like just group me pictures. What do you think of them? That was a good week because Johnny wanted to fucking leave the group me. We're still in the group me. We'll start with some general comments submitted by league members. Group me sucks. Not sure how they even make money. That was from Johnny, obviously, but good point. Like I have no idea how group me makes money at all. I think there are some serious updates, as in pictures, needed. Some guys' pics are over 5 years old. Tough to see. We'll get to updates. And then Whiny Giant Johnny is a gimp. Stupidest thing he's done in a while. Nothing wrong with group me. All right. So I ranked everyone's photos in like groupings based on like categories. So I have the hardo category, which is Tony, and his picture is like him playing lacrosse in fucking high school or something, and Eric, who's running a Tough Mudder. Like, I love when you guys like were signing up on GroupMe and you're like, what's like the coolest fucking pick that I could do? Lax, Tough Mudder. We have one comment on a Tony picture. He goes, hang it up, Tony. Sick Club Lax pick. Oh, Club Lax, even fucking cooler. Next category is picks that aren't you. Ortiz is in this. His pick's like a fucking Islanders player. Ian's in this. His pick's Lamar Jackson. Christian's in this. His pick's Pavic. Charlie's in this. I put Charlie in this because his pick is just like 10 dudes. Like, Charlie, buddy, the fucking GroupMe icon is like yay big. Maybe just make it yourself. It's impossible to see you. Some comments on 3 of the 4 of you. Ortiz, you got a few comments. He knows he's so ugly, so he had to make himself a picture of a hockey player in a football GroupMe. Next comment. Ortiz's GroupMe pick is awful, but I'd rather comment on Charlie's team pick of Ortiz and say that Ortiz hides the fantasy app whenever Mary's nearby. Hopefully you're not watching this out loud. And then someone else just says horrendous Ortiz. Yeah, why is your fucking picture an Islanders player? That's just terrible. Ian, you got one comment. Did you change skin color since Nashville? Could have swore you're a basic white boy bitch like the rest of us. Yeah, Ian, dude, we totally get you're such a big Ravens fan. You can make the picture yourself, though. Christian, most comments on Christian's photo, which is a Pavic. His GroupMe photo is the only way I even remember Pavic was once in this group. This is just a slap in the face to the whole league, especially John Rast, who is a valuable member. Horrendous, pretty questionable. Yeah, Christian, kind of weird that, like, you made it one of your friends and then like Pavic left this. Like, just change your pick too. All right, next category is a little bit fucked up. So this is your GroupMe's photo. It's just you and you're a little fucked up, which includes me eating a chicken nugget, Marsh, solo cup, Sedano doing that like fucking thing he does at clubs where he's like yelling something, and I can't do it good. Rast and Kevin. A couple comments on a few of these. Marsh, most Marsh photo of all time. Sedano looks like he's trying to imitate Simple Jack from Tropic Thunder. Kevin, 2 comments, same idea. Is this from the night that you knocked out that kid in Newcastle? Next comment. Diving into Lamb's picture was a bit unsettling. Kind of looks like those famous paintings where the eyes follow you. I imagine it's similar to the Newcastle Ginger last point of view before that pop from Kevin. Checking the score, make sure I'm not losing. Okay, next category is just a class act photo. Kind of mirrors your LinkedIn. Spencer, I think, is his LinkedIn photo. The comment here was try too hard. And Weston, just a picture of Eden, wholesome. Last category is just laugh out loud funny. When you click like the group and you could see the photos a little bigger, the only photo that I just fucking laughed out loud and was like my favorite photo was Lynch. And Lynch gave a little tidbit. He's actually asleep in that pic, which makes it so much better. So that's that segment. We'll move on. We'll end the episode. How we end every episode, safe space submissions. Live looking. It's like 3rd and 8 right now for the Raiders from the 10. See if Waller gets a look. Carr. Renfro touchdown. Shout out Charlie, has Renfro. Safe space submissions, gents. First one. I think Narduli is starting to lose it. Yeah, I think I started to lose it when I started filming a fucking fantasy football segment. Next one. My message for Spencer next week. Make my day, Jew. Next one. I got Charlie next week. Could be a huge track game for the Clowns on the rise. He's been out of form and my guy's killed in the last 2 weeks. Gonna be a fun one to watch and would love if I could get another trade in the next few days. Second time in Marsh's submissions that he mentioned making a trade. Makes one fucking trade and he thinks he's Trader Joe. Next one. Ortiz has to be the worst in-season manager in the league. Countless times he drafts well. His inability to make moves when things don't go right will be his downfall. He could take a lesson from Marsh, who since the Tyree trade looks like a threat for the trophy. Yeah, Ortiz, I think the quote that I said at the top about Ian's team is applicable to you. More is lost from indecision than wrong decision. Your indecisiveness is the reason you're either 1-3 or 0-4. Next comment. Tough matchup with Tony this week. I mailed my boys a lot of game film, so they'll be ready. Yeah, matchup of the year coming next week between Lynch, who's 4-0, and Tony, who's 3-1. Next comment. Daniel Jones will never see the bench again after that performance against the Saints without Shepard or Slayton. This came from Eric. Eric, I would like to formally announce Eric as no longer an enemy, but now as an ally. I am with you, brother. Daniel Jones, pretty good. Honestly. Knock on wood, if you're with me, fellas. Hey, NFL.com. JK, I got nothing to say about them this week. But you guys remember how my 3rd round pick went down for the season? J.K. Dobbins, Tony. And still coming out the other side looking clean. Tony. For the first time, Tony's been in a position of power in this league. And I think he's a little enjoying himself. His little time in the sun. We'll see if he keeps it up. He's got a good team. As I said, I voted him for best team. Few more quick ones. Loser of Weston Ortiz needs to buy the other ones a Hurts jersey. Don't know why you'd want a Hurts jersey. Everyone watched Squid Game. I've been watching Squid Game. It's fucking nuts. McGuire Bowl is next week between Christian and I. Christian didn't have anything to say about it. McGuire Bowl. And last submission of the week. Let's go Yankees. Fuck yes. Let's go Yankees. Gentlemen, have a great week. I hope by the time that you fucking watch this, I don't blow one to Sedano. But even if I do, I still hope you have a great week. Except you, John. Love you. Godspeed. Bye.